Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, today I want to talk about the month of February, where things are going to be heating up, and there's going to be a big shift about mid-month. So before I give you all the clues as to what's going to be happening, I want to remind everyone to sign up for my free newsletter, where you will be getting all of my predictions weekly delivered to your email address. And also, I want to tell everyone that I'm going to be in Berkeley Springs, West Virginia, doing a transition talk at the Arlington Institute. And you can come in person or you can live stream the event. It's going to be about 3 hours long, and we're all going to meet and have a celebration afterwards. But we're going to be talking about what's to come in the rest of 2022, because this is going to be a monumental year of a radical change. So check that out. Go to the Arlington Institute. I'll have the link down below and check it out. And I hope I'll see you there. So getting on with what is going to be happening this month. We have the new moon on February 1st. This is a very serious and somber new moon. Why? Because it is in Capricorn. And it's close to Saturn. You know, Saturn is the planet that deals with seriousness, a somber attitude, but it also deals with governments, and it can deal with control. And what's really going on this whole month is that the people are fighting back at all of the controls that the governments around the world are putting onto the people. We want freedom. This is not the way that we intended our life to be. And this is the month that it's really brought to our awareness, because the controls are getting heavier and people are getting sick of it. So you're going to find that this new moon, it actually occurs in Capricorn, but in the nakshatra called Shravana. And it's interesting because this nakshatra symbol is an ear. And of course, you could probably understand what it's trying to tell us. To listen more to others. We cannot just think that our way is the only way of believing. We have to really try to understand, to be compassionate, to listen to others. What is it that we're here to learn? You're never going to learn if you're doing all the talking. So it's time to listen. And to take that to another level, it is really, really time to listen within, because we all have this inner divine connection where, if you want to call it your conscience or you want to call it divine spirit, it is always in conversation with us. It is always communicating with us. And now more than ever is the time to listen, because you are going to get all the answers you need. And I want to say, listen, because there's signs out there all the time that are occurring. If you pay attention, watch what comes up, ask and you will receive. Know it's time to really connect to that divinity, which is you and part of the universe. When you do, when you ask, you will receive. And all the signs will give you validation, whether they come through the radio, the television, the internet, billboards. Look around. Even birds, insects, butterflies will give us the answers that we need. Animals, pay attention. The universe is always in communication with us. So looking more at the astrological events this month, I noticed that on February 4th, Mercury will turn direct. But this is a heavy-duty Mercury. Why do I say that? because it's conjunct Pluto. Pluto deals with control and manipulation and powers that can make us feel stuck. And furthermore, Pluto, since it deals with power, you're going to find that you feel powerless over what's going on around the world, the way the governments are treating people. Another thing that happens on February 4th is Saturn will be conjunct the Sun. Now, the Sun represents leadership, rulership, presidents. So this is a major depression that people are very unhappy with the way things are going and the way they're being led. Because really, people want freedom now. I mean, there is a wonderful event going on right now as I speak in Canada, where all the truckers are tired of the regulations and the controls of the government, and they're making a stand by all coming together in a peaceful movement to show that all we want is freedom. We don't want the controls. We don't feel like the government is helping us with the controls. So maybe all of our actions will speak louder than our words, and we will start to see a big change coming. And yes, there is a big change coming, because the second part of the month, you're going to see from where the Sun goes into Aquarius around the 14th or 15th of the month. The Sun will change signs into Aquarius. This is the sidereal Vedic zodiac I'm talking about, not the Western tropical zodiac. These are the true placements, so pay attention. When the Sun shifts into the sign, it's going to be headed towards Jupiter. And then we're going to have a beautiful full moon that's going to occur on February 16th in Leo. And this full moon is going to be aspected, the moon will be aspected by the opposition of Jupiter while it's transiting in Aquarius. And this is going to shed light on the positive. There's going to be a big change of energy and feeling after the 16th of the month. But I want to talk a little bit about this Mars and Venus that we have neck and neck for the next 3 months. Mars and Venus are traveling together, and they're going to conjoin exactly, they're nearing all the time, but exactly around February 27th at 0 degrees of Capricorn. Now, they are really together, I mean, the same degree, while they're still in Sagittarius. Now, Sagittarius, all the way up till February 27th, they'll be in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is about finding the truth, especially the nakshatras in the sign of Sagittarius are truth-seeking. And everyone wants justice. Why are the things happening in our society and world that nothing is really just about it? People are starting to pay attention, and they're starting to change their whole viewpoints on what has been presented to them. The truth is coming out. It is. I know I've been saying that for a long time, but every day it's coming out a little more. Can't you see it? Over the course of while we've had Neptune transiting in the sign of Aquarius, this has been bringing the truth out. It stays in a sign for 12 to 14 years. And it's been there for quite some time. If you look back at the past 12 years, yes, the truth has been coming out for so very long. And now it's getting clearer. Because by April, Neptune will actually shift into the sign of Pisces. And that will be a revelation. Jupiter and Neptune will conjoin in April at 29 degrees of Aquarius. You're going to hear me talking about this a lot because this is a huge, big deal. It does represent a spiritual awakening, but spiritual awakenings usually don't come easily. They usually come from something that forces us to wake up. And that's what between February till April is going to be happening. Remember in March 16th, Rahu and Ketu are going to finally change signs. They stay in a sign for a year and a half. And now I've been saying all along that when they shift from Taurus Scorpio into Aries Libra in March, we're going to be looking at the coronavirus in a rearview mirror. It's going to be, we're going to learn to live with it, in other words, and it's not going to control our lives. That's really what I'm talking about. It's not going to control our lives. And every day, beginning in March, it gets a little better. Not that that's the day that the whole world changes. Everything happens gradually. And you're going to see this gradual shift that finally things are going to dissipate around the virus. Now we have another whole area to be concerned with, and that is Mars and Venus being together for the next 3 months. This is actually in Vedic astrology called a planetary war, when planets are the same degree. They're fighting against each other. And if I could say Mars and Venus couldn't be more different. One is male energy and one is female energy. One deals with war and one deals with peace. One deals with sports, masculine energy, whereas Venus deals with the feminine energy, the arts, the creative arts, entertainment, beauty, while Mars is that masculine, warlike, energetic, sports-like energy. You put them together, they're going to fight. What is this producing? The threat of a real war here on planet Earth. The Ukraine has, and here's one thing I want to say. I did a video on Ukraine, but the thing is, I didn't mention much about America, the United States, getting involved, because I don't think that's going to be the reality where they're going to actually be at a full open out war is what I mean. So things are going to calm down because, yes, there's going to be a lot going on with this. A lot. You're going to see the threats, the movement and fears, everything that a war produces. Yes, it'll be like that. But here's what I do see with this. With Mars and Venus in planetary war, and the reason why they are traveling together is because Venus just came out of a retrograde and it's moving slower. Therefore, it is going the same rate of speed as Mars, and they are traveling on top of each other for months, the same degree. And that breeds war. You see, this is the fighting essence of these two opposites. But because Venus will pick up speed, it means it will win the planetary war. It's the planet that is highest in zodiacal degree that wins the war of two planets. As it moves forward, and it is the brightest planet. I've often said, and this is a fact, I've done much research on the retrograde of Venus, and plus whether it's a morning star, an evening star, it's been very significant and written about in ancient text. Especially the Mayans look so much to Venus, even Venus as being the planet of war. But I believe that whenever we have this Venus retrograde, plus with this Mars, it is the indication of war. But what I see coming out of this is a peace treaty. Remember, Venus is peace. And I'm going to say that there's going to be a lot that's going to come out of this. It will continue with a lot of threats and war activity, yes. But I'm going to say that within 9 months, we're going to look at by the end of this year, and let me just say, it's not going to be to the end of the year because there are many other threats this year that look much more difficult than what we're looking at right now. I will keep you posted. And if you haven't gotten my predictions for the year, I put out a 4-hour predictions on 2022. Remember, you can purchase this on my website. Go to my website and you will see the 2022 recording of my predictions, because it took that long to go over everything that's going to be happening this year. And because it's a year when many of the planets are shifting. Neptune's changing signs, Saturn's changing signs, and Jupiter is changing signs. This is remarkable. All of this is due to happen this year. April is a turning point. March is a turning point. Rahu and Ketu shift signs. This is monumental, what is about to come upon us. So I do get that by the end of the year, because of all the happenings that are going to be happening, there is going to be a drastic need for peace, and there will be a peace treaty. So as I said, this is a time of war and peace. I've been saying that before we were even looking at Ukraine as causing problems. But there's more problems down the road. It's not just the Ukraine. If you've been listening to me, China is a country we need to be looking at. So I go into that with much detail. And looking at where the government leaders are going around the world, there's going to be a major change in that, especially in the United States. So looking at this, you know that when we feel sort of like the depression that we have no control, remember, between now and April, we're in what's called the Kalasarpa Yoga. And when you look at the Kalasarpa Yoga, it means all the planets are on one side of the nodal axes, Rahu and Ketu, and it means you feel trapped. You feel like there's no freedom. And that's exactly how we feel right now, especially with the government lockdowns all around the world. I mean, most of us are saying we're over it. Enough is enough. We need freedom. We need our lives back. And I think the call for this is going to be stronger and stronger. This year is going to be the year that we do get it back. Absolutely. But what you're going to find is, as you feel angrier, because Mars is going to do this in the placements that it's traveling with Venus, as you get angry, remember this: the only way out is within. And what I mean by that is contemplate, meditate, go within, and go to where the sense is that where we are right now, as we move forward to the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction, this is a major opportunity for spiritual growth and spiritual awakening. So many people are going to awaken. It's going to be like a new place. So these difficult times sometimes make the good times even better. So the best thing to do, and this is what astrology does for me, is to look forward as to when it will be over. When you know there's going to be light at the end of the tunnel, there will be. It's coming. And as we focus in on that, then we have hope, and then we have gratitude. And when we have gratitude, all we do is attract the good and the light to you. Because remember, in this time of duality, the darkness is putting its heels in, and it's stronger than ever, but the light is always brighter and extinguishes the darkness. So focus within on that light you have. Ask to be connected to the divine, and you will. Ask for signs if you're on the right track, that you're following your spiritual truth to the highest, best life of joy and happiness. And you will receive this. This is a promise. When you connect to the divine essence of the heart energy that's love and light. It extinguishes the dark, and the duality is not what you think. And this will keep you strong all the way through this year. And as we come out of it and we realize our divine connection to everyone and everything, then you have the spiritual awakening that everyone is seeking, whether they know it or not. So with that, I'd like to close. If you would like more information on me, you can always go to my website, which is galacticcenter.org. And remember, sign up for my free newsletter. It will come up on my website. And also, if you would like to study with me, go to my university website. We have a community of people from around the world learning Vedic astrology. And don't forget to check out my spiritual jewelry that I have on my website, galacticcenter.org. My university website is University of Vedic Astrology.com. Thank you.